Hey guys, this is Shiny Zekrom and welcome back to another PMU video. I should say Shiny Zekrom, I am no longer not because this is the first video I've made since I have changed my name on YouTube. I am back to just being known as Zappe now. Shiny Zekrom is still going to be the YouTube character I use on PMU, so don't think this is not going to be my YouTube character anymore. It still will be. But, going a little bit different now. So, as you saw, our first new dungeon, we are going to be taking a little trip in Archford. Because this first, series of new dungeons, because it's not only, I will say right now, the, first dungeon we're doing is not only 2 dungeons, but the one after that is going to be another one. So we have 3 new dungeons to look at. 2 are connected to each other, like one is the deep part of the other one. So from Sandy Shallows, you're going to take a trip to the left, and when you get to these rocks, go down a little bit to where you see this open area here, and continue left. We're going to hit a new village called Silversail Village. There's a Kangaskhan and a Chimecho for you to use. There's a Kecleon here that has these items, which I'll let you look over really quickly. Some basic necessities that every traveler should have. I do believe there is an inn around here you can set your spawn at somewhere. I don't remember what house it was. But I'm pretty sure. And there's also a Shuckle here that can sell you some berries and stuff. Like all the type reduction berries. And is this the inn? Ah, yes. This is the inn where you can set your spawn at, if you so wish, because this is kind of a bit of a travel out. I will show you up here, it was, I believe. I might be thinking of somewhere else then. Oh yeah, over here. So you take 1 map to the left, and then 2 maps up. Not the first one we're going to go to, but just to show you a little something. There is this little cave entrance. Remember that, because we are going to be using that. But then if we continue this way, we have Southeastern Isle Village, which is an even further travel. Now, this is kind of the same exact thing, where there is, a tea house here. You know, just as some decoration. And I do believe there is also around here. Yeah, there's Kecleon here. You got your Kangaskhan and Chimecho right next to this as well. I believe this has the same exact items and prices as the other Kecleon over there. Yeah, tour guide and all that happy-go-lucky stuff. I do want to say, I believe there was an inn around here somewhere. I'm pretty sure there was an inn around here, and I wanted to show that. I don't think it was this one. Oh well, I might be drawing a blank. It might have just been the other village I'm thinking of. But anyways, the more important thing, oh boy. We want to continue down this way. So this map here is where the important stuff begins. If you come all the way down to the bottom left area, these trees might look like nothing to you, but enter through here. And as you can see, we have a dungeon entrance. This is the first one we are going to go over. There is a Kangaskhan and a Chimecho here, thankfully, because this is kind of a long walk around from, say, like, not this village, but in the other village, but, like, talking from Archford. So they were kind of, but this, our first new dungeon, Lush Archipelago. Let's enter. So right off the bat, here is something you are going to need to know about this place. There is a special gimmick here, which are totem Pokemon. Totem Pokemon are going to be basically like boss level Pokemon, but on the regular floors. There are going to be one every few floors, and you need to remember to collect these, which is why I should have said before we entered the dungeon, I recommend having 7 open slots of items, because there are going to be 7 certain items you are going to collect from these totems to get to the end box room. I will say that. So some items to grab right off the bat. As you're going to see on the layout of the screen, not all these items are listed, but I wanted to make sure at least they would be readable enough. So, the items include Poke, Big Green Apple, Leaf Stone, Elixir, Ether, Green Apple, Herbal Tea, Max Elixir, Max Ether, Revival Herb, Reviver Seed, Lumberry, Gummies on floors 10 and above, Cleanse Orb, Recycle Herb, Heart Scales hidden 1+ in the walls, Shards 21+ hidden on the ground, but the first part doesn't cover that, Big Mushroom 1+ hidden on the ground, and Escape Orbs. So the type of Pokemon you're going to be seeing are on the left. There are no recruitables on these floors, so we can just kind of skip around. One important thing, though, is we do have mystery eggs right away. Mystery eggs are going to include Otis, Parrish, Tangela, and some new Pokemon that I don't know if they've ever seen eggs before, which are Carablast, Fungus, Joltik I know has, but like Carablast, Fungus I know haven't, Shelmet, and one that has been in eggs before but repeats again for the first time in a while, Dewpider. So, these totem Pokemon, you're probably going to wonder, okay, when is this first one then? The first one for us is going to be on floor 8 in this section. We are going through, this was all for floors 1 through 15, as a reminder. Just be wary of status conditions and, you know, all that sort of fun stuff. Yep. I forget, we have early birds, so we wake up after like 1 turn of sleep. Okay. Cloud 9 is always recommended just because there are weather conditions around here. Anyways, the first totem Pokemon you are going to look for, if I didn't say it yet, is on floor 8. You will see that kind of like a certain Regice, that their text is going to appear in the bottom of your screen that you do have to go through in order to actually be able to keep going on the floor. There's a Reviver Seed as an example of those being here, which is always very nice to have Reviver Seeds at the handy. But yeah, so this dungeon is going to have a deep part once we complete this part. Just as a heads up. So that's why I've been saying series of dungeons, because there are 2 of them here. Oh. Okay, then. What's gonna suck is this is the one totem that Houndoom is actually gonna struggle with the most. We have it next floor, so we'll show it, of course. Oh, Araquanid. Ha ha ha. Yeah, Araquanids are gonna be very annoying for me because they have Mirror Coat, and Water Bubble makes it where Fire moves don't do as much damage. Oh, also, a Frisker is also recommended in this dungeon, and I recommend it because there is a certain Pokemon in a certain way that with something hidden. We'll go through that in a bit. Alright. Here it is. Araquanid. I am Araquanid, a totem for Lush Archipelago. You must defeat me in order to continue. So this is in reference, the defeat me in order to continue, is in reference to what we have to do at the end of the dungeon in order to we need something this guy has. Now, every floor you can tell it might have a totem or not by these kind of like decorated rooms. Here we are, the Totem Araquanid. Yeah, this is the one I said I was going to struggle the most with, and that's why. Buff stats plus water bubble, lowering the damage there. But we'll keep on Dark Pulsing, we got a flinch, and we get a crit. Now what it's going to drop is the blue petal. Petals are going to be the items that the totems drop that you need to remember to pick up. Because if you don't, you are not, I will say right now, you need to have all these petals to get a certain item that you will need in order to get in the end box room. Otherwise, there is a way where if you do forget a petal or, you know, don't pick it up or you don't have space or something, which I always recommend having empty slots anyways, I would highly recommend to grab these petals. You will have a way in which the, I will say there is a way where the dungeon completes itself where you do not have to go to the end box room in order to complete it. At least I'm pretty sure of that. Regardless, let's just continue. Any ether items we see, I'm going to be picking up as we go along here. That's for sure. Let's take a little warp here. Ooh, perfect. Now, as you see, Pokemon do spawn in hallways, which does mean, as you saw with that warp trap, we got warped into a hallway. That can happen. So, it's convenient at the same time, just because, you know... Ooh. Going for a little bit of experience, because, I mean, this is a great spot for Houndoom to train in, definitely. This is like a 50s and 60s levels of series of dungeons, so I think we'll be fine here. Yeah, Steenies are going to be very annoying. If you haven't caught on yet, they love to spam Teeter Dance. Love, love, love to spam Teeter Dance. Well, that Parasect did help us a little bit. By getting rid of our sleep status, but we were paralyzed and got hit like 3 times in a row. Oh, there are the stairs right here. Perfect. Oop. Let's not miss those. So the music changes here, but NPCs, I don't... like, the background doesn't change yet. So... that's why I haven't said anything. It's just the music changes here. You will notice there are some special effects to a lot of things now. Like Paralysis has sound effect. Gaining Experience, as you saw, has a little animation with the blue arrow pointing up. Just so when you gain experience, you will see it. I like these little changes. They're very nice. Okay. Ah, and here's an egg right here. I don't have space right now. Maybe if we start using, like, max elixirs when we have to, I will do so. But for right now, I'm gonna pass on grabbing them. Ah, and totem number 2, and this is where the floors change. Or at least, like, I usually note about it. Yeah, because we haven't seen one of the Pokemon here. A couple of these, actually. So 16 through 30F. On 16F, you are going to find Totem Serena here. But the regular Pokemon include Tropius, Vileplume, Ludicolo, Kecleon, Tangros, Scolipede, Amoonguss, Serena, and this section 16 through 30F. On 20F plus during dawn or day, you will be able to find Bounsweet, which is a new Pokemon that it was in an HC but has not been released outside. Oh, and there's Totem Serena right now, actually. Perfect. Which we can take her down very easily, and she will nab you a green petal, the second of the petals that you need to grab. And there is going to be one more totem before the end of this dungeon, because I will say 30 is the end of this dungeon and where we will head to our deep part. We'll see if we can find ourselves a bound suite as well, seeing as we are at that point. And if worst comes to worst, we do have a, we can get rid of Driftblim and send that home to open up a spot. Okay. And this is where, as you can see, the tiles in the dungeon change. Got Max Ether here. Let's put that to use. And a Max Elixir here. Why don't we take that for the road? Alright. Oh, and here we go. Right away. Bound Suite. Let's put on our golden mask. We did not get it, unfortunately. That's perfectly fine. I may even have one from the HC that was that had it. So I don't know if I used Chinese Zekrom in that or not. So that's why I'm kind of iffy about it. If we don't have it and we don't get one, I'm perfectly fine with that. But don't forget, we do have, you know, 20 through 30, and we just hit 20 and happen to find one. So I can't exactly complain. There is one more totem we are going to have to fight, and that is coming up. It is on 24, so if you haven't caught on, 8, 16, 24. Some easy floors to remember. Oh, and it looks like it just turned dusk. I saw earlier that the time change was having a bit of a problem. But it looks like it finally turned dusk, so unfortunately we will not now be able to find Bound Suite anymore. Because I've heard that it's all times, but some people are saying they've never seen Bound Suite out at dusk or night, so I'm going off of what I would trust, which is, you know, dawn and day, not all times. If we do happen to see one, well, we will definitely have to change our notes and edit that on the wiki, but like I said, I'm not too bothered by it, because we will have some more stuff coming up. Right, and we don't have our Driftblim to travel through walls anymore. Shoot. Oh my god, I keep warping around the same area. Thank you. Alright, so it must be in that bottom left corner then. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, there they are. I think I flinched both of them. Totem Galvantula. And music change again. Yep, so as you see, Galvantula is our next totem. And we'll definitely have to find it before we continue. And as you see, the spider web's back again, just like for what we have for Arachnid. There it is. I think we might actually die here. Oh no, we didn't. Perfect. And this is going to be the yellow petal. The third and the final petal that we have to collect in this dungeon. The next one we are going to have to collect 3 more. And then you'll see what happens for where we get our last and 7th of all the petals we need. So yeah, in total there are 7. And yeah, right out the gate I haven't been seeing any bounce sweet, so I don't think it is out during dusk and night at all, but that's okay. Like I said, it was, I always say the recruits are just like a fun little part that I try. And that I'm not going to be mad if I don't get one, because I mean, we're just here to try, that's all. Let's use this max ether. I'll move the petal up, because I usually like having the petals in order, just so I know I got them all. Oof. As you see, Houndoom is loving this place. I mean, it's gained, what, I think close to like 40% while we've been in here. Kecleon with the substitute. Okay. Okay. Tropius. There they are. There's the stairs. Oh, big green apple. Hello. So as you see, we've seen like cloudy, we've seen rain. I do believe fog can happen in here as well, so I always just recommend having Cloud 9. It's always handy to get rid of the weather conditions, especially if you use like gems and crystals and all those types of things. That clear weather allows you to use the weather you want for them. Alright, in sunlight. So here we are, the final floor. Once we find the... Oh, hello. Sticky items, yuck. Alright, anyways. So after 30F, you are here at the Thicket. There is a Kangaskhan rock here for you to use, so if you do need to use it for something, go ahead, which I'm going to grab an extra cleanse orb out and unsticky the items we just had. I'm going to use a max elixir on Houndoom. Thankfully, because I actually had to store one of these in order to get a 7th item space, we'll take that and use it on Houndoom instead. Well, let's do it that way. And as soon as you walk up right to here, will you go on? It is recommended that you are going to want the, whatchamacallit, Cloud 9 again, so make sure, well, you're still using it, I should say, because there is no Chimecho here for you to use. Let's move on. So, our next new dungeon is Archipelago Thicket. This is going to be important because you, as said, we still have 3 more totems to defeat, which are going to be on 2, 10, and 18F. The first section we have is 1 through 15. But here are some items you'll want to grab because obviously there's more than what meets the eye over there. And if I didn't mention, obviously mystery eggs were an item throughout the last dungeon, and they will be here. Let me get through this first. So we have items to grab: Poke, Big Green Apple, Leafstone, Elixir, Ether, Green Apple, Herbal Tea, Max Elixir, Max Ether, Revival Herb, Reviver Seed, Lumberry, Gummies on floors 10+, Cleanse Orb, Recycle Orb, Heart Scales hidden on walls 1+, Shards hidden 21+ on the ground, which not in the first section obviously, Big Mushroom 1+ hidden on the ground, Escape Orb, and a new TM, which is on floors 16 plus, which is not part of the first section, but just as a warning to look out for. TM Leech Life. Leech Life, I do believe, has gotten the buff and is now that 80 base bug move that recovers HP. So, yeah. The first 15 floors, there is one recruit within our Pokemon that you'll see on the side, which is Skorupi. It is out at all times and has a 6.5% base recruit rate, which I did mention for Bounsweet has a 3% base recruit rate. And in Mystery Eggs, this is why I recommended having Frisk or something, some way to Frisk, because there's the treasure specs you could use to Frisk. Mystery Eggs will include Tangela, Carablast, Moongus, Joltik, Shelmet, Dewpider, Snivy, which is the first time out of Harmonic Tower, is hidden floors 7 through 10 on the walls, and a hidden egg throughout all the floors on the ground. Pansage, a brand new Pokemon. One of, believe it or not, the last 4 Generation 5 Pokemon to get permanent dungeon releases. The other 3 left being Pansear, Panpour, and Lillipup. Besides legendaries, of course. Alright, well, now that that's all out of the way, let's actually get to dungeoning. You'll see, obviously, the NPCs on the side there. Oh, speaking of Skorupi, why don't we take a nab at recruiting one? We didn't get it, but that's okay. The typo back on before we continue moving. So as mentioned, our first totem you are going to find quite quickly after entering this dungeon. It is on 2F. Just remember to obviously fight it. Okay, Water Tower. I was going to say our stairs are somewhere this way. Alright, our totem is Ursaring this time. We have an egg here. And again, just because I don't have the space I want to waste because of the petals, I am not going to pick it up. Oh. It's one of our, few Pokepiles we've seen. I haven't seen as many. There it is. We burned it, but it has guts. But that's okay. We'll defeat this faster. So our next petal is the orange petal. Now we don't have to worry about anything until 10F for our next totem. I was hoping to maybe find a monster house. That'd be really awesome. Yeah, well, we will just continue, because of course the faster we get through this, the better. Just because, I know most of these floors can kind of get boring just because there really isn't much going on besides me just obviously fighting the Pokemon in here. But, yeah, we still have a couple more new Pokemon to talk about when we get to the next section. There's a Leaf Stone right there. Let's grab this. We're on 5F now. Looks like 6. Wow. Stairs really wanting to be nice right now. Okay. Well, what's that? 5 floors in a row we've had the stairs right near us? Don't mind if I do. I love Early Bird as an ability on Houndoom. The Unnerve is also really nice in this place for the Bug Bite that some of the Pokemon in here do carry. So I'm very glad that we're using Houndoom for this place. Because Houndoom is also technically our next closest Pokemon to level 100 from Salamence, because obviously Salamence did hit level 100. Alright, next floor we have our next totem. Whoa. That was a room with a lot of Pokemon. Our next totem is Vileplume. So now let's go find it. There it is. If you have like a fire type, these are pretty easy. And next we get the red petal. So now our totem on 18F is the last totem Pokemon we will have to grab a petal from. Like I said, once we get to that. We have a... Yes, we do. Herbal tea. I need some PP back from my other moves. So you have, I guess, a little training in here just because this is a series of dungeons that, again, Houndoom works really well in. Ow. That hurt. Now let's drink that ether too while we're at it. Oh, max elixir. Let's carry that around. I do believe our new section is coming up here in this. Yep. Couple more floors. Oh, shh. Oh, thank God. Oh man, I almost just wasted a Rev C for no reason. Dang, I sniped something I didn't even see. Our next floor change, or, well, you know, change to the dungeon is gonna be... Whoa, that was... Final Gambit. Ow. Who did that hurt? Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Alright, 16F. As you see, the dungeon layout has changed. You'll see NPCs on the side, which, I guess let me point right out, as you're going to see towards the bottom, there's 3 Pokemon that have specific times. You have Formantis during dawn and day with a 0.1% base recruit rate. Again, Formantis, you can only find dawn and day, which we unfortunately can't encounter those. We have the one we will be able to find during this time, Morlul during dusk and night with also a 0.1% base recruit rate. And Shiinotic, which will only spawn dusk and night alongside Morlul. And there are no secret rooms or anything to worry about in either one of the 2 dungeons, so don't worry about that. And we just have 1 totem left, and we can, well, rush to the end. And fun fact, I have actually, because I've only ran this dungeon during dawn and day for the times I have run it, I have actually not seen a Morlul or a Shiinotic yet. So I actually don't know what their sprites look like, because I haven't even seen them in the game either. Now, okay, so this way. And here's where, like, X-ray specs could definitely do you some good, or, like, X-ray charm. Because, obviously, I'm struggling to see, like, anything right now. And we do have our last totem in the dungeon part here. Coming up next floor. Stop. Dang you, Sculpey. Oh, we'll use this max elixir now, because we got another one right here. Get our PP back. See the stairs up here, but we'll take a long way around to see if we find some NPCs. Okay. So, our last totem is none other than a totem Shinotic. This totem Shinotic is the only way you can see a Shinotic, if it is dawn or day, because the totem is an automatic spawn on the floor, so you have to see it. As you see, down in this corner, the mushroom area is how. Oh, how funny is that? It actually spawned in the room that's decorated on the floor for it, and we get the purple petal from it. So now that we have all the petals that we need to get from the dungeon, we can officially start rushing the rest of this place. I would like to see one more lull, because I've seen the totem Shinotic, but I have not seen a Morlow. Oh, speaking of which, here's one right now. Awesome. Alright, let's put on the golden mask. Frembo's on. We got it! We got a Morlow! Awesome! At least we didn't come out of here empty-handed, I guess. That's awesome! I can't be more happy with that. I can't be more happy with that. We got... That's my first Morlow ever killed, by the way. Holy cow. And mind you, we're not even, like, the top things, which is, like, Guildmaster. We didn't use a level 100 while killing it. And we just got lucky. Awesome. And I totally thought that was my ghost of Driftblim for some reason. Good job, me. And man, do I like Type Belt in here as well. Just not having to really worry about eating any apples. Oh, there's another one, but since we got one, doesn't matter to me. Now we'll switcheroo those two. There we go. Another one. Oh, what was I gonna say? Fomantis, if you do want to evolve it, make sure... Oh, there's a regular Shinotic that isn't the totem. So there's that for my first time as well. If you want to evolve Fomantis, you are going to need a Sun Ribbon besides being level 34. So if you are evolving it, make sure that you have a Sun Ribbon on you, because you are going to need it. Of course, if you don't know where to get one, the best spot I can suggest you is Friendship Forest on like 2 or 3F in a secluded room. On one side will always have a Sun Ribbon. So it's the easiest and the way you are guaranteed to get one. Let's do this. Let's drop the max elixir for a second. Take the herbal tea for the road. Oh, hello. Floor already started, apparently. Oh, hello. Goodbye. Depending on how the experience goes, we actually could potentially hit a level up before we exit here. We're only 9% away. And we're getting a percent like every 2 or 3 kills right now. Maybe 3 or 4 rather, but you still get my point. Let's see. Oh. So I guess it seems like really far away that Queenly Majesty works. Oh man. All the poison traps and poison moves. That was a good room. I want to say, I think the Serena seems like it's somewhere around here. Oh, Vileplume. Now, I think a monster house would more or less guarantee that we hit a level for sure. But if we don't get one, that doesn't matter. And if anything, I mean, we don't get the level now, we definitely get it in the next dungeon, or I'll just get it really quick off screen. Something like that. So how much are we away? We're a little less than 20,000 away. So you very well could hit it, because most Pokemon in here have been giving at least like 700 or more experience. Ooh, if that's around, let's do the max elixir, and then we'll do the max ether once we get to 25. But well, let's see if we can maybe find a few Pokemon real quick. And see, there's one, and that was 894 with the Miracle Chest. There's 1,472. We still got, of course, 2 more floors, plus we have the boss for experience, so I think we'll most likely hit the level. Nothing close, huh? Well, here's one thing. Oh, wow, here is a whole bunch of things. Oh, and there's a perfect. I was about to say, there's a Reviver Seed for us to make up for the one that we had to use because of Final Gambit. Perfect. That brought us up to 97. Let's see if we can maybe hit like... Oh. Sniping something I can't even see. Oh, there's a Morlul somewhere. And I guess another Pokemon walked into a range I didn't see, but... That's like our 5th Morlul, I think. 4th or 5th. We did hit 98%, so most likely next floor we will hit the level. If we find enough stuff, that is. Oh, there's a couple things. How close? Like 4,000. Let's go. Oh, this is going to be a big room. There it is. Houndoom has hit level 75. So we've gotten, in other words, about 85% because we were around, I think, between like 10 to 15%. Ah, that would have been great. How much experience do we need? Like 3.3k. Oh, thank you. So yeah, the boss. Now we could probably go face the boss, and we should get experience to hit the 1%. Oh, or there's Geonotic right here. That'll do it for us. All right. Well, let's quickly use the Max Ether. We're gonna do that, and switch over to Houndoom. Close, close. Trigger it. What do you mean they made it through? You can't see a thing in here, and you're telling me they didn't trigger a single trap? They're everywhere. How can they not? Your vision begins to adjust. I don't understand. I made sure to place all the ones you requested, even the ones to slow you down. Enough of this. So you've beaten the Archipelago. Tremendous feat. I'll congratulate you. However, you won't be progressing further. I won't let you. You're in our world now. So Lurantis and Toucannon are our bosses for the entirety of the dungeons. Lurantis is the one that is going to have a drop. Toucannon has no drop. Lurantis drops the pink petal, the final petal you are going to need. You actually won? I've never been beaten before. Pathetic. You may have beaten us, but you'll never be able to escape. I lost the key years ago. Besides, no chance you're getting through my home. You should leave before I change my mind. So the pink petal is the final of the 7 petals that you needed to collect. Now once you come in here, we are going to have a little bit of a warp puzzle, and this is Lurantis' home called the Lurantis Hollow. Now these warps are going to be important for which ones you take, so follow my pattern here. So for this first room of 4, take this top right warp. In the second room, take the bottom left, this one. Third room, which has 3 warps here, take the middle right warp, this one. And this is the final room here. Or the fourth room, rather. You are going to want to take this top warp first. And if you have all 7 petals, talk to Tangela here. Oh, look, you've got all the petals I need with you. You want to trade for my overgrown key? Do it. Okay, that looks like all of them. Ta-da, here you go. And you now get the overgrown key here. Hit this warp to come back here. And then take the warp to get back to the middle, and then the bottom right warp here to go to the final room here. So there's going to be 4 warps here. This one takes you back to the beginning, so we will have to go through this little puzzle again. This one, unable to continue, you have to take that warp. If you have the overgrown key, though, you can open these doors and take either one of these 2 warps to reach the Thicket clearing. There are going to be 2 end boxes here for you. So why don't we collect our prizes? And let's talk about what's inside these. And that is officially Lush Archipelago and Archipelago Thicket completed. Woohoo. Okay, so these end boxes have a whole ton of items. Here we go. Eviolite, Ring Target, Grass Dust, Insect Plate, and Meadow Plate, which are the first time that the plates are outside of TC besides the Icicle Plate. Swarm Band, Vine Brand. You can get an overgrown key so you don't have to collect all the petals again. Moss Rock, Mossy Jewel, Gold Banana Bunch, TM Energy Ball, TM Grass Nut, TM Solar Beam, TM Substitute, new item of TM Leech Life, and the Rainbow Flower, which is also new. I don't think the Mossy Jewel and Rainbow Flower do much of importance, but either way. I'm gonna go Licky Licky just to cleanse our items really quickly. Sorry, something in my eye bugging me. Let's head to Natu, because we definitely got 300 poke and collect our items, which we got. An Insect Plate! Ooh, and TM Energy Ball. Very nice prizes, I will say. Alright, well that is going to finally take us to the end of this video. We covered Lush Archipelago and Archipelago Thicket. 2 new dungeons, which you have Bounsweet, Morlow, Fomantis, and Pansage's new Pokemon, and finding some other ones that you may not have been able to find before. Well, I would like to say thank you guys for watching, and in the next part we are going to cover yet another new dungeon, and we still have after the dungeon we're going to cover in the next video, we have another one after that to cover. So stay tuned for a couple videos. See you guys then.